Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hi friends, I welcome you to my YouTube channel Amazing English Language Center. In this lesson, I'm going to describe the whole structure of present perfect tense in detail. So let's get started. Usage. This tense is used for completed actions. Okay, we use present perfect tense when we are going to talk about those actions or those activities which have been completed. Helping verbs are auxiliary verbs. Has and have. Okay, we use two auxiliary verbs or two helping verbs that are has and have. We use two verbs, namely has and have in present perfect tense. Now let's talk about the usage of has and have. Has. We use has with third person pronouns like he, she, it and singular noun, while have is used with I, we, you, they and compound subject. Okay, we use two helping verbs or auxiliary verbs in present perfect tense that are has and have. Has is used with he, she, it and singular noun are third person pronouns, while have is used with I, we, you, they and compound subject. Main verb. Third form are past participle form of verb. In present perfect tense or in case of present perfect tense, we always use third form of verb or past participle form of verb. It means that the third form of verb can also be called past participle form of verb or V3. So we always use third form of verb in present perfect tense. Whether it is present perfect tense, whether it is past or future perfect, but we always use third form of verb or past participle form of verb in all perfect tenses. Structure of positive sentences. So in order to make the positive sentence of present perfect tense, we have the structure like subject plus has or have plus third form plus object. Okay, we have to follow this structure, we have to follow this rule. Positive sentences. The first sentence we have here is she has completed her homework. As you see here that we have used has, the helping verb has or the auxiliary verb has with the third person pronoun. Here in this case we have she, which is the third person pronoun. So that's why we have used has and not have. In the second sentence we have learned the poem. Make sure you pronounce the word correctly. It is poem, it is not poem. We have learned the poem. Okay? We have learned the poem. We have learned the poem. So that's why we have used have with we. We use have with I, we, they and compound subject. That is why we didn't use has. Instead, or in place of has, we always prefer to use have because we have here we. So that's why. And third sentence, you have sung a song. So we always use have, okay, with I, we, then compound something. That's why once again we have here you. So that is why we have used have and not has. And then we also use the third form of verb. Okay, in this case we have sung. Sung is the third form of verb. The fourth sentence, Ali has visited Peshawar. So in this sentence we have a singular noun which is Ali. So that is why we have used has and not have. Construction pattern. Construction or pattern of negative sentences. So if you want to make the negative sentence of present perfect tense, you have to follow the structure, which is subject plus has or have plus noun plus third form plus object. So it means that we just add one extra word, that is not, because in negative sentences we always use not or the word not, and that's why then it becomes negative sentence. Examples of negative sentences: they have not helped me. It is straightforward, it is clear to you that we have added one extra word, that is not, in order to negate or in order to make it a negative sentence. That is why they have not helped me. So the second example or second sentence we have, I have not insulted my elders. The third sentence is Shazia has not taken tea. Simple, it's negative sentences, so that's why we just add or change one word, that is not. We add not and then change or convert those sentences into negative sentences. Alright, we are turning towards structure or formulation of interrogative sentences. So for interrogative sentences we have a slightly different structure. We use or add or place has or have at the beginning of a sentence. Then we add subject. Then after that subject we use third form of verb or past participle form of verb. And then we have object, and at the last we always put a question mark or sign of interrogation or interrogative mark, because it is the convention of the English grammar that if you want to end an interrogative sentence, you will have to put a question mark at the end of that interrogative sentence. So try to always use the correct punctuation mark. In this case, we have to use a question mark because we are talking about interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences. So it is clear that we always use the helping verb or the auxiliary verb at the beginning of an interrogative sentence. It is slightly different. It is pretty different from other sentences such as positive sentences and negative sentences. We have has. Okay, we use has at the beginning of a sentence because we are talking about a third person pronoun. We have here he. He is actually a third person pronoun. That's why. Then we have subject. Then we have the third form, which is flown. It is the third form of the verb fly. The second form is flew. The third form is flown. And then we have the object. And then at the last we have added or put a question mark because it's an interrogative sentence. Then we have second example, a second sentence. Have you deleted those files or folders? Have you deleted those files or folders? So the same is the case with the second sentence as well. Then we have the third sentence. Have I taken my example? Just one thing changes because in interrogative sentences we always use has or have. It depends upon the pronoun. It depends upon the subject of the sentence. If we have he, she, it are singular noun, then we have to use has. But if we have I, we, they and compound subject, then we don't have to use has. Then we use have always. So that's why the position of the words always change when it comes to interrogative sentences. The third sentence, have I taken my exam? So at the last we have question mark. I have added, I have used the helping verb have because I have the first person pronoun. With the first person pronoun, we always use have and not has. Then the fourth sentence, talking about the fourth sentence, has Ali spoken the truth? So we have once again a singular noun. With singular noun, we always use has, and the helping verb has. And the last or final word, this final sentence or the final, or the last sentence of our lesson is, have we taken our breakfast? Have we taken our breakfast? It is breakfast, it is not breakfast. Although many students will say that it is breakfast, but the correct or standard pronunciation of this word is breakfast. Have we taken our breakfast? So, that's all. In order to sum up or in order to conclude, in present perfect tense we use two helping verbs, auxiliary verbs. Those are has and have. We always use the third form of verb, our past participle form of verb, and we use has with all third person pronouns like he, she, it and singular noun. Okay? Whereas we use have or the helping verb have with I, we, you, they and compound subject. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll be back with a new lesson. Till then, take care. And please subscribe to my channel. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel because we do need your motivation and support. Thanks.